All right, welcome back everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there. We're going to continue on with our practice guide. Remember, our quiz or test that we have coming up is Monday. This practice guide is due Monday. If you would like your copy back, I know a couple of you turned it in. I have the copy sitting on the desk, so if the sub can hand those out to our few that turn those in. We're going to continue on today. Now I'm going to just do a quick 2-minute review of the problems we completed yesterday, and we'll continue on here. So obviously, number one, we talked about the monthly income for each of the pay periods. You will be provided that chart. That gave you these numbers that I have printed here. So like biweekly was that you're getting 26 checks a year. And then semi-monthly, you're getting 2 checks a month, so 24 checks a year. So that chart, you'll get a paper copy, and plus I have it on the marker board. But again, you had to figure out what you make per year, your annual salary, and then divide by 12. So those are the 2 hints. Again, you had to finish number 2 on your own. I did number 1 for you, but I gave you the hints for number 2 there. So that was problem number 1 and 2. Pretty much, you remember the test that or quiz, whatever you want to call it, for Monday will be exact same format, exact same number of questions. Okay, number 3. This one, I only did a few parts of this one. Remember, you have to finish this out. There's quite a few parts left. You have to figure out, how much for your budget is spent on each of these categories. Now, food was 23%. I didn't do that one, so that you make sure you're finishing that one on your own. I did savings account, which was the 7.5%, so you can see the number here. And I did the housing, the 25%. So you still have to do, food, transportation, miscellaneous, health, and clothes. You have to figure out what you're spending on each one. Remember, what I want to see is I want to see your clear label. You can either abbreviate, you can do whatever you need to. You show me your budget times whoever that percent is as a decimal, and you're giving me those numbers. Show me the work like I'm showing you this, so I can see where your numbers come from, so you didn't make any mistakes. Again, if you show me the work, you can at least save some points in case you make a mistake here or there. But yeah, that's all I need to see. I just need to see how much you spent on each of your parts. Now, if you want to a quick check at the very end, if you want to see if you did it right, you can take each of these categories and add them up. You can add the housing, the savings, the food, the transportation. You can add up these costs, like $202, $60.76. You add these up, and eventually your budget should be about around 110, or it should be really close. That's how you know if you did it right. So you have a little fail safe to see if you actually did your math correct, or maybe your calculator was giving you the right numbers. Again, if you would like to borrow a calculator, obviously I have that little caddy in the room. Just make sure you get those calculators back before the next class. All my classes today need the calculators. So that was number 3. And then we finished yesterday with number 4. And again, I didn't finish this one all the way. I just did the first couple here. Remember, you're taking each of these categories, like housing, food, clothes, transportation, insurance. You're taking those numbers and you're dividing by the net income. So you're going to divide those numbers. So like the first one, I took house. I took the 7,108.52 and I divided by the 23,000 and I got 0.3 in my calculator, which is 30%. Those are the numbers I want to see. I want to see each category represented, and I want to see what the percent is for each one. So if you want to clearly label, if you want to do what I did where you do a little arrow system, I know you have quite a bit of space at the very bottom of the paper here. Just make sure you're showing me each of the categories and what the percents are. They could be single digits, they could be 2-digit numbers like this. Just make sure you know what you're doing. You got to finish those out. So you got to finish clothes, transportation, insurance, entertainment, savings, and health. Give me the percents. So there you go. Okay, next, let's actually get to the new ones today. So those are the ones we did yesterday, right? So today, the new stuff, monthly budget. You have to find the total budget with these following expenses. So you have to add all these numbers together. So you're gonna take your calculator and you're gonna add these numbers straight up. This will give you a total. I'm just gonna kind of ballpark it before I start here so I can get a sense for what we're getting here. So just kind of, and this is just a guess. Before I start, I want the exact answer, obviously, but I like to do this before I start just to make sure I'm getting the ballpark. This is about $100 here, those two together, right? 70 and 30. This is almost $100. That's 100. This is about $100. This is, about 150. These two together are about 400. It's a little bit more than 400. Obviously 700 at the top. And so kind of looking at all these put together, all these parts in blue, what are we looking at? Like 1,100, 1,200, 1,350, 14, so about $1,450, $1,500, somewhere in that ballpark. just kind of looking at quick, adding. Again, that was just a ballpark. So, if I write that number down, so I'm going to be around $1,400 to $1,500. And that was just a pure guess, right? It's not an exact science. I just want to know, like, roughly how much am I spending before I start. You don't have to do that. I just think it's good practice just to see kind of, if my number comes out of my calculator, is it right? Because you have no way to check. You're just trusting that, this device is giving you the right answer. So, again, you can add it by hand. I mean, that's a good way to do it too. But adding these numbers up, let's do this. I'll show you my calculator here in a second. I'm just going to type these in first. $723 plus 79 plus the 45 plus the 375 plus the 38 plus the 144 plus the 91. So I'm going to add these numbers up. Yeah, I was actually really close with my ballpark. Actually really close. So putting these together, I got the actual number that my calculator gives me is $1,495. So pretty good for a guess, but this is the exact answer. Now I'm going to show you my calculator now. Apologies, my calculator has a big crack in the screen. I'm not using the one that I have at the school, so because I left that one there. But here you go. So let me show you the number I'm getting. So 723, 79, the 45, the 375, 38, 144, and the 91. Adding those up, I got $1,495. So there you go. Yeah, ignore the crack in my screen. Can't be helped there. Don't leave your calculator in your car during the winter. That's what happens. All right. So there you go. So I don't think I missed any numbers. Let me just double check what I typed in because I can see it all. Yeah, we're good. So there you go. Let's move on to the next one. Again, you're going to be on number 5 on your test. Will be the exact same thing. This one's the one that scares me a little bit because you're just going to have to. I'm going to have to trust that your calculator is giving you the right numbers. So I would say just maybe type it in a couple times just to make sure you're typing it in right. Again, if you didn't get this number, maybe clear out your calculator. Maybe there's a mode set on your calculator. Sometimes when you go to like chemistry classes or science classes, they have to change the mode in the calculator. So clear it out, hit the on button a couple times, clear out the calculator, and then type these in again. And hopefully you get the same number I did. So let's move on. So we're going to move on to number 6. We only have 2 problems left. So in these are little story problems to figure out, a budget plan that you have here. There's going to be some plan words. There's going to be some stuff where you have to kind of interpret, throw some numbers out that you don't need. There's going to be some miscellaneous numbers here that you're not going to be using. They're trying to trick you up a little bit. So we have a budget for the month, $392.50. That's for Alex. At the end of the month, he has $9.41 left over. Okay, so he's going into September with $9 in his pocket. He adds something to his budget, so maybe he got a paycheck real quick of $176.50, and he's gonna for his budget for the month. So what is his total budget? So I'm gonna just assume that he has the $9.41, and he added his new paycheck. So he doesn't have his full budget right now. He doesn't have his budget of $392.50. He has this budget because that's all he added to his account. He had the stuff that was left over and what he added, right? His paycheck. So $9.41 plus the $176.50. So I'm looking at a total of $185.91. Again, so it looks like on this particular example, this number up here, this 392, is not used because I know that's what he budgets, right? But he hasn't got paid that yet, so he can't spend that all. So he had $9.41. He added $176.50. He has a total of $185.91, and now he's going to start, spending some money. So we want to know what his balance is at the end of the month. If all he has to budget with is $185.91, so he's going to start spending these next couple things. So what I'm going to start doing one at a time is subtracting, these expenditures off of his, his account. So we got 75.79. We're going to subtract that. We're going to subtract the 57.50, and we'll subtract the 45.90. And I want to know what is he left with. Maybe he overspent. Maybe I think this is going to get really close. 75, 50, and 45. I'm thinking he's going to get real close to this budget if all he can spend is this 185, and we're not putting into account the 392 that he had planned for, right? So let's subtract these. I'll type this in my calculator, and then I'll show you my calculator screen. 185.91, we're going to subtract the 75.79, subtract the 57.50, and subtract the 45.90. Yeah, he got really close. Yeah, let me just show you my screen here. I'm just going to double check that I typed these in right, and it looks like I did. Okay, so let me show you my calculator screen. All right, so 185.91, subtracting the 75.79, subtracting the 57.50, and the 45.90. He had $6.72 left over. That's his, budget plan going into October now. He's cutting this real close. So whatever he's doing, he's budgeting correctly, but he's getting a little too close for my comfort. So $6.72. So $6.72. It's good to have a budget plan, but there you go. So, I just palm detection must have thrown an extra line in there. All right, so there you go. So $6.72. That's the remaining budget. So there's two numbers I really wanted to see here. The first one was, what was his budget for the month of September? This was the first number. And then what did he have left? What was his remaining balance? That was this bottom number down here. So these are the two. I would say if you were doing this on your quiz, your test, I want to see exactly what I did here. Where I'm showing you what I'm typing, I'm adding numbers up, subtracting numbers off. Expect a story problem where I give you some numbers. Maybe there's something you have to throw out because it doesn't apply. But I think it'll be really straightforward, so don't fear it. Just make sure you're showing me work. So I don't want to just see random numbers. Show me like what you're doing, what you're typing in, because obviously we're trusting these electronic devices to give you your answer, but I want to see how you're getting it. So, all right, let's move on to the last problem of the day. Number 7 here. So Lee is planning a barbecue party for some friends. He's got an entertainment budget of $25. And then he's got a food budget for an extra $10 on top of that. What is his total that he can spend on this party? What is his balance? So this again, you're kind of budgeting what you want to spend. You don't want to overspend here. So he's got a certain budget plan. Maybe that's, when we look at his, plans we did earlier with the little pie charts, he has a certain amount he can spend. He doesn't want to overspend because he, makes only so much money per month. So we have Lee's plan is $25.86. And we're going to add an extra $10.57 to this budget. So looking at about $35 or so. Kind of ballparking it in my head. So $25.86. We're going to add the $10.57. So yeah, I was close. So about $36.43. There's your budget. And that's all I want to see. It's a pretty easy number. Again, expect a story problem, kind of like number 6, where, I give you some plan. You have to add up some numbers. Obviously, you're going to probably have more numbers than just 2. I just kind of threw you kind of an easy one. But I just want to see what your plan is, what the total number is that you're trying to look for on this. Okay. Maybe I should show you my calculator too, so you can see the numbers. So 25.86 added the 10.57, so 36.43. So there you go. All right. That's it for today. I know it's kind of a short, simple, kind of easy day. Remember, quiz is on Monday, so just be prepared. I'll be in school Monday morning pretty early, so if you want to come and ask any questions, just be prepared. Remember, you're turning this practice guide in on Monday. If you would like to take it home, take it home. If you want to turn it in right now to the sub, I'll take that. You can just leave it on my desk, just paperclip them together. But yeah, just make sure your name's on it. Make sure it's completed, because obviously I didn't finish every problem here. You have to finish them on your own. I grade on completion on this one, so it's just a little activity we did. So make sure you get that done, finished, complete, and I'll see you guys on Monday. So thanks, guys. Bye.